Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. So, today's video, we're going to talk about how fast will the economy tank. Now, looking at it from the bigger picture, watching what's going on, it doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter if it tanks tomorrow or it tanks in 6 months or it tanks in 3 weeks. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is we need to be ready. Though, what does matter is we just need to watch the situation, but we should be ready for whatever happens. So if it happens tomorrow or happens 6 months from now, we need to be ready. Now, keep in mind, guys, this banking situation here in the United States is actually spreading across the world. So it's not just affecting us here. So it's not going to be as fast as a lot of us would have thought it would have been. I thought it was going to be fast. I thought we were going to see this dramatic tank, and we're not. There's a lot of stalling, if you will. The stock market isn't reacting the way I thought it was going to react to these banks shutting down. I mean, you have Credit Suisse, which is one of the bigger international banks being affected by this. You had Silvergate, Silicon Bank, and now First Republic is also being affected by this as well. And yet, nothing's going on. The market is sort of holding, which to me is strange. But it's also reading is very dangerous. Because again, the market could tank in one day. Listen, the market tanks in one day, all hell's going to break loose. You're going to see a lot of people panic. Now, for those of us who are ready, we're not going to panic. We're going to be like, all right, we knew this was coming. Whether it was going to come today or 6 months from now or a year from now, it's here. Now we have to react accordingly. Now, Signature Bank, Silvergate, and Silicon Bank, guys, are banks that obviously we saw tanking, right? And if you paid close attention to them, you noticed that Silicon Bank was in trouble for months. So this wasn't like a thing that snuck up on us. It sneaks up on us in the sense that we're not paying attention to the financial market. We're not paying attention to these individual banks. Credit Suisse has been in trouble for months as well. This is not a surprise. I've actually read an article about them probably 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, about how badly in trouble they were. So I remember reading that article, and they said, well, if they're in trouble and they tank, the global financial system is probably going to collapse with them because they're so big and so many investors from around the world are invested into that bank and have loans and things like that with this bank. So now you have smaller banks, again, Silvergate, Silicon Bank, and Signature Bank. You have these banks that are being affected as well. And now First Republic, like I said, they're on the chopping block as well. So all of these banks, guys, are going under. And some people are saying that there's a ideology out there that the small banks are being collapsed on purpose so that you could put your money into a bigger bank, i.e. Chase, Capital One, TD Waterhouse, big global banks. They want us to put our money in, right? Banks that have reach. Smaller banks are seemingly starting to collapse. Now, one guy, a reporter, was stating that Janet Yellen, which I don't know why Janet Yellen's in the position she's in. She looks like she's going to die any second now. But that's not the point. So he's stating that as long as your money, he stated to Janet Yellen that he's getting the sense that as long as your money is in or are in big banks, that your money will be protected. But if if it's in a smaller bank, it will not be protected. So the fact that he brought that question to her and she was hemming and hawing, well, you know, that's not the case. That's not what we said. He goes, no, that's not what you said. That's what you guys are reacting to. And you're making it so that if people have their money in a bigger bank, it will be better safeguarded than it will in a smaller bank, and that they're trying to collapse smaller banks for a reason. So that they can get everybody's money into these global banks or bigger banks that are on board with the digital currency. See where this is going? So, again, guys, as far as this happening fast, I don't think it is. I think this is going to be the slow boil, like everything else. I don't think anything's going to be fast, but also it was a matter of time that we ended up here. This is not a surprise. This is not something new. This is not one of those things where we're like, oh my God, it caught us off guard. No, it didn't catch us off guard. A lot of us have been following this for years. A lot of us are actually surprised that we've gotten this far, and we're probably going to get a little further before it does collapse. But today is Friday, so we shall see what the market's going to do today, because normally markets tank on a Friday. Normally, not always, but normally they tank on a Friday because it's the closing of the business week. And that's the final tally for that week. So we shall see where it goes from here. But other than that, guys, people need to be ready to what's going on. We had Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He even stated that Credit Suisse was in trouble. And he's looking at other banks that are probably going to be in trouble as well. So if this guy's calling the shots and it's actually happened, Michael Burry, which is this guy here who called the collapse in 2008 as well, he's another one that looked at it, and he looked at the signs, recognized the signs, and said, uh-oh, we're in trouble. These guys are calling the shots, guys. That means we're definitely going to see something. But again, for preppers, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is maybe you want to get your money out of the bank. I don't know, put it into credit unions, or put it into precious gold, or just pull it out of the bank and keep it in a fucking coffee can. You know, obviously you should keep something in where it's going to build interest and it's not going to be touched by the market. And I know a couple of banks that do high yield savings, give you a monthly return. But other than that, guys, just keep prepping, keep putting that money into commodities that are going to be very useful when the market collapses. So when the market collapses, guys, you're absolutely going to want to put your money into something like food, water, things you can trade with, commodities you can trade with that you're probably going to want to trade with. Some people say put your money in silver. Some people say put your money in gold. I don't know. I'm not a gold or silver guy. But though I do hear more financial experts talking about silver, so I'll probably lean in that direction. But again, I'm not a financial expert. All I'm saying is that, guys, what's going to happen is going to happen, whether it takes a week, 6 months, or another year or two. It's going to happen, and you just need to be ready. Financially, you need to be ready, but you need to be ready prep-wise. You need to make sure all your shit's in order. You need to make sure you have emergency cash in the home, not in the banks, in the home. All right, guys, other than that, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.